We're about to get started. Here we are. We're live. We're live. Couples Academy Live is with you. We are on Instagram. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning,
Hi,
Facebook. Good
Instagram.
morning, YouTube. We're excited about today because we get to delve into a topic, and typically we start out about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I know it's a little bit after 11, but we can always get it going and make it happen.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. All right, so we're talking about the power of thoughtfulness in your marriage. The power of thoughtfulness in your marriage. Isn't it interesting? A lot of times you feel like your spouse does not consider you. They're not thoughtful of you. They're not thinking about you. I know that a lot of times individuals have a single mentality, not a marriage mentality. There's an adjustment. Think about it. I go to the supermarket. I'm thinking about what I want to eat for dinner. I go to the drive-through and I'm thinking about what I want to eat, and I eat it before I get home and then consider my spouse.
Trifling.
There's things that we do oftentimes that we don't really consider what our spouse wants.
I just want you to know that the popsicles that you mentioned that were out of stock, I saw them. They're back in stock yesterday.
Did you get them?
I did. They're in the freezer.
Boom. See, that's what I'm talking about, because Danielle is thoughtful and considerate of me.
I try to be.
And that's something that I need to work on. Let's talk about the power of thoughtfulness.
I think that you actually, I don't think that you leave me out. I mean, unless I just don't know what you'd be snacking on. I mean, like, dang, you said I got to work on that. So I really don't know how to take that right now in public in front of all these people. But anywho, I think that you do pretty good with being thoughtful. Like, if you go out and get a coffee, you'll bring one to me. I'll find one sitting on my nightstand sometimes. And, I'm coming out the bathroom and there's a coffee. So, I mean, I think that you do pretty good with it. But I think when it comes to thoughtfulness, the way that it lands with your partner is going to have everything to do with how they receive love. And that makes a big difference. And I was telling Hassani that back in the day, when we were dating, he would bring me, good morning, Nigel. Hello. Good to see you.
Good morning there. Good to see you, man.
Sorry we're late. We had some things to take care of this morning.
All my people on Instagram, good to see you with a message.
Hey, waving
Ray
back at you.
Of First Island. We're waving. There we go.
Yeah. But back in the day, he used to bring me flowers, and I had allergies, like severe allergies to flowers, which I think I've maybe developed out of. But anyway, I'm like, I'm allergic to flowers. Well, he took that as like, don't ever buy her no flowers. So he never would buy me flowers. And so through the years, I'm like, why does this man never bring me flowers? And I asked him, I said, how come you don't bring me flowers? You're like, you're allergic to flowers. And I had to tell him, no, you can bring me flowers. And so I'm saying all that to say sometimes we need to clarify how we need our partners to show love and affection and thoughtfulness to us, because they just may not know. And for me, and when we start talking about the love languages, right? Mm-hmm. My need is gifts and words of affirmation. These things do shift, but gifts is something that is like a core need of mine. And the way it shows up for me is thoughtfulness. So it's not about like, go get me some diamonds. Mm-hmm. It's not about, I need the latest, greatest thing. It's about, I thought about you. I know you love mugs. So here's a mug. Or, I was on my way back from South Africa speaking, and I saw this interesting thing, and here it is. And I don't care if it costs $1. I just love the fact that, wow, even in my absence, you were thinking of me. So we need to do some research to find out, okay, how can I show thoughtfulness to my spouse? What would matter to them?
That's a good point. JT Fat from Nigeria on Instagram. Good to see you. We also have a few other people. Arlene from Trinidad and Tobago. Good to see you. Barry, good morning. Good to see you. Charmaine, good to see you. Watching from the Bahamas. Love it, love it, love it. I hate flowers. My husband can bring me gifts, but what's in the cemetery?
Okay. What's in the cemetery?
Yeah. Flowers. And that's the point. Like when I heard you say I'm allergic and flowers, okay. See, I was telling Danielle, as men, we are literalists. Like if you say something, we zone in on exactly what you said, and then we generally follow accordingly. So if we know you don't like something or you didn't have a good experience or something, that's locked into our psyche in our brain. Because I remember in 1946 when you said such and such, and I held on to that because I never heard anything since that combated that. Yeah. And so therefore I stopped doing it.
And we're not direct. So I'm like, I love those flowers, sister such and such. God, those are so nice. Oh, look at those roses. And I'm like, why did this joke ever buy me no flowers? So I had to ask. But it's really not about the flowers. It's not about anything but being thoughtful. And
That's what
of
it
course,
is.
that's my need. And
That's
then what
what it
about the
is.
words of affirmation part? Like being thoughtful is like, okay, I know my wife likes words of affirmation. Let me just make sure that I'm thinking about that and make sure that I put something in her heart today. Let me speak some life into her today. Whatever it is for you, that's what you need to do to be thoughtful. It's just thinking about the person
There it
and
is.
being intentional to act on it. A few months ago, I did a Love Dear challenge. And there was a few people that joined me in that process. And we just were being intentional to do fun, cute, thoughtful things. It's so easy and it's so fun. What did you think about that love potion number 9 that I created for you? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, it was incredible.
Tell them about the love potion number 9
that you had waiting for me at on my nightstand.
Mhm.
The fact that, see, here's the deal. For me, like, it's not necessarily about how much you spent or name brand. To your point, it's about the fact that you were creative and you put something together and you put your mind and your heart and thought into it.
Mhm.
It has more meaning.
Yeah.
Like, not to say that we don't like things, but to go pick up a shirt, go pick up this, go pick up that, and
Yeah.
you give it to your spouse. Okay, thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But when you go out of your way to pull all of your creative juices together and present something, that to me is more endearing. I'm more sentimental when it comes to that, because you brought you into, my mind.
Yes.
It wasn't just something you randomly
So
picked
I'm
up.
going to tell you about the love potion number 9 because he doesn't realize or remember the details. So basically what I did was, and I know he appreciated it, but what I did was I got a valve and I put some vitamin C in it, the powder. So, because it fizzes up. And then I put a little heart tag on it that said, add water and drink. And it had some nice poetry in there, like really sweet stuff. And that if after you drink this, you're going to see things through rose-colored goggles, right? And so it was fun to watch him find it. It was pretty the way I set it up on a little fur thing on his nightstand. He added the water and it fizzed up and poured all over and he drank it. And so it was just fun. That's the point. Like the thoughtfulness and being able to make it an interactive, fun experience. We all can do these things.
We all can do these things.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you do to take your relationship to the next level by being thoughtful? Nigel says, I write simple notes and leave them for her, and she loves it. That's all it takes.
Can I get a note today? Like, I love that. That is being thoughtful.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. She loves notes.
Thank you, Nigel.
Hello, Petronella. Okay, and then we have
tell
Kathy
them that we're supposed to take questions and answers?
No, not.
Yeah,
if you have questions,
ask
Barry says acts of service. There we go.
Love that.
Facts. There we go. Agreed. Don't bring me what you like. Bring me what I like.
Arlene.
Let's stop. That's a pause. That's a mic drop. Here's a great principle, guys. Write this down. If you have paper and pen, write this down. Write this down. We used to follow the golden rule. The golden rule was do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. That works in every area of life except for relationships. Doesn't work in relationships. In relationships, it is about the platinum rule. The platinum rule is do unto others as they want done unto them. And it speaks to what we just said. We have different love languages. We have different needs. So I can't give you what I want because it's not going to hit you the way it would hit me.
It's not going to affect me in the same way.
At all. I got to give you what you want. The platinum rule, guys. So now from this point forward, we talk about principles and laws that make a relationship work. The platinum rule, do unto others as they want done unto them. Powerful point. I find things she needs help with around the house and do things for her. That's right.
Yes,
that's
Barry.
Acts of service.
Awesome.
Right. That's critically important in a relationship. Whoa, love it. Love potion number 9. So thoughtful and fun. And these are things you can do as well.
I think I could find a picture and post that in there so you can see it, but it's so fun. But whatever it is that you do, it was like, I don't know, maybe 15 days of doing cute things. And I remember I had put little notes all over the office door for him to see and to read. And you could do scavenger hunts. Like, guys, we got to get creative because it can get boring out here with half the world shut down. So that's something that you can do. Just find ways to surprise each other and make it interesting. Tanya
on Instagram, good to see you, sis. Give that wave
Tanya.
Charmaine, you must be intentional about giving your spouse their need. Very, very, very true. So this is what I would say to you guys. Sit down with your spouse. Break out a notepad and a pen, record the conversation, and ask them, what is it that you like? How can I serve you? What meets your needs? What is it that you like? How could I accommodate you? Like, become a student of your spouse and learn from them, and then just do it. There's something powerful about having a conversation that actually goes somewhere because you begin implementing things.
Yes.
So these are the things I think that are important in terms of being thoughtful. And then it gets to a point where you no longer have to ask because you've had enough conversations, you've taken enough notes. Now you have a good working knowledge and sense, and then you can do it. Another thing outside of interview questions is observation. We learn by observation. Take the time to observe, to study your partner for a week. Look at them when they're up, when they're down. Find out what they like, what they don't like, not by asking, but just by observing them. Like, we all go to school, we get degrees, we go into intense study mode to figure something out. Well, you can do that same thing with your spouse. That's why we say you need to get your PhD in your partner. Yes. And when you have that, it wins.
Too Cool Killer says, what if your spouse does things for you to make them feel better? Or to make them feel better?
People do that.
Yeah, you know what? I think that a lot of times they do it out of guilt. You know, if they know that they did something wrong or hurtful to you, they will. It's the whole like Ike and Tina Turner thing. Like, he's whipping her tail and then he's going to bring her a whole bunch of gifts and boxes to make him feel better. So, I mean, that's not working. It doesn't have the same effect. Obviously, you're not going to receive it well because you know that it's truly not about you and they're not being thoughtful towards you. It's really about them. What we want is the opposite of that.
Yeah, it's true. And, you know, when I was studying a little bit about, you know, what you teach, Enneagram, there's certain personalities who do things for others so that they feel good within themselves. So, like, real talk, I think all of us may have a little bit of this. I remember I took Danielle to a restaurant that I was excited about. I loved. I just knew it was going to hit. She was going to enjoy the food. And she didn't have the same experience that I thought she would have. And it made me feel some type of way.
Is it that Mexican place?
No, it wasn't a Mexican place. But the food was cold. She took it back. You know, it was cold and then she needed a coat. She didn't like the music. The service wasn't right. There was something on the glass.
Lying right
All
now.
these things were wrong.
He is legit lying to y'all right now.
Of course,
I am not allowing this. I am not allowing this.
So in my mind, I'm like, she is going to have an incredible experience.
Right now.
It fell flat. It made me feel some type of way. See, now, if she enjoyed it, that would do something for me because I'm like, wow, I put this together and she enjoyed what I did for her. Yeah. So not only would she get something out of it, I would get something out of it. It doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah.
So I think
that's a perfect analogy. Thank you for that. But I will also say, to Hassani's point, twos on the Enneagram chart are usually the ones that have to express love by gift giving and caring and doing all these things, but you better acknowledge it. Deep down inside, they're doing it because they want to feel worthy and they want acknowledgement for it. So he's absolutely right about that there are certain personality styles that lend towards that. And so if that's what you're dealing with, and it's not about somebody's really treating you crappy and trying to make up with a, apology gift, right? It's really about them. If you really are dealing with somebody that is actually a loving, giving person, but they're giving to you to fulfill their own need, that's a different issue. And there's a growing path for that person.
Here's a great question. What if you are intentional about being thoughtful, but your spouse isn't so much? Worthy of a conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not even aware of how you're being intentional. Maybe they're not aware of how you show up and what you're doing and the thoughts you put into things. And so, number one, sitting down and letting them know, but then sitting down and letting them know what you need, because you'll never get fed or you'll never have a need met if it's not articulated.
Right.
And so sometimes it requires having meetings. Not, hey, by the way, no, but having a sit down meeting with undivided attention and having a particular tone that's different than what's typical. So they realize the seriousness of the conversation and setting, I don't know, the right atmosphere and a goal for what you now want to move forward and do as a couple. So I'm agreeing I'm going to be more intentional with things. She's agreeing that she's going to be more intentional with things. And then we check in with each other. Like one of the questions you can ask that we ask every single week, how's your love tank? That opens up dialogue. That opens up a conversation.
Yeah, we do.
I think a lot of people just don't talk and they feel some type of way and they internalize it and needs don't get met. So give your partner the benefit of understanding what's on your heart and mind. So it changes things.
Yes, indeed.
Charmaine, get your PhD in your partner. There it is. That's what it's about. So hopefully you guys are seeing this. Yes, I definitely don't receive it well. That is us. Yep. And I think that's a lot of us. So I think it's important that you begin to do this. I'm desperately in need of your help. Island Chain Racing on Instagram. Well, just find out about us. Just go to our website. And our website is couplesacademy.org, and you can set up a free discovery call, 15-minute discovery call, because some of you are really going through some hard times and some hardships. Some of you are in a decent place, but you want to take it to the next level and make things better.
Yeah.
Some of you are just confused and don't know what to do. And if that's you, we want you to reach out to us. That's what we've been dedicating our lives to over the last decade, to really helping couples overcome their issues and have the relationship that they ultimately want.
Absolutely. I see Janice. Hey, Janice. Rainy in London today. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But guys, we hope that today was helpful and it gave you something that was, something that was short and sweet.
We had to show up. Sorry for the lateness, but we're going to show up every day regardless.
So whatever questions you have, drop them. Whatever thoughts you have, share them. And we want you to share these with your community. There's other people that you know who are going through challenges, who need an inspirational word for the day.
Yep.
And as we pour out to you, pour out to others. And that's how we'll get this thing happening. Change and marriages are transforming all over the world. It's time for you to rise and take your place. So guys, we love you, and we will see you on tomorrow.
Thank you, Kathy. See you tomorrow, guys.